Hey everybody, it's been a while since I put out a video, a little over a week. I'm sure if you've all watched the news, it's been extremely cold here in the Midwest, so I haven't had a chance to come out and do anything. I've attempted to come out here, I've ran the heater. It was way too cold to be doing anything out here at all. So today it's finally warmed up to 30 degrees. I've got the heater on and it's almost 20 degrees warmer in here, so it's great working weather. So I'm starting to just kind of putz along and get things picked up and want to move on to another project. I did attempt to make a tabletop. My wife was able to get a hold of a new lathe from Rockler. It's not very big, it's a mini lathe. So I've been really wanting to draw up some plans to build a work table for that. I had some old pallets laying around, and let's just say it didn't work out too well. Like I said, the glue was setting up way too fast. I didn't have enough clamps. It was way too cold, so I just gave up on that. So I apologize for not trying to get more videos out, but we kind of went onto a standstill with everything. So what I'm really doing right now is I'm taking some of that old pallets, I've cut up into some pieces, and I'm actually going to attempt to make a clipboard. I seen on a couple YouTube videos about it. So really right now, it's not too exciting, I guess, of a project, but let me just show you real quick. What I did is I took some old pallets and I'm probably going to plane them down. I had to find something that was pretty thin. I'm going to plane them down to about 1/8 of an inch. I'm not even actually quite sure what this wood is. It looked really nice when I took it off the pallet. I was able to plane it down. I didn't think I really need a hardwood for a clipboard, so we'll see how it goes. And then once that's glued up, I'll make some round edges on it, and I need to go buy myself some hardware for that. Hopefully here in the next couple weeks, I'm crossing my fingers, it spring's right around the corner, and I can get out here and get some stuff going. With the lathe that my wife was able to acquire, and I still have my planer I need to build a work table for, I'm really wanting to get going on that. And then we're really starting to target to tackle getting some of the walls done. I'm starting to get a lot of small tools, bits and pieces, and I really need to get some organization going. I really would love to get going on my miter saw station. I do have a couple ideas I'd like to do for that, so it's just, I'm sure everybody kind of has that problem. Everything just kind of piles up at once, and we have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm trying to make sure that I prioritize it accordingly, so I'm not spending all my money on something and spending all my time on something that I really should be getting going on. So I'm kind of trying to lay out the pros and cons of everything that I want to work on. So I appreciate everybody watching my videos. When I get going on this clipboard, just for a little thing to throw online and see how it turns out. So I hope you guys can stick around and take a look at the finished product. Okay, so the panel is done gluing. It's dried up. It's dried up enough to, I'm going to go ahead and run it through the planer behind me here, and I'm going to get it to a decent thickness. I'm thinking maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little thicker. Doesn't have to be, it can be anything you really want. After I plane it, I'm going to go ahead and get a profile of, how I want to do the edges around, and do a simple router around the outside and sand it. So I did buy I know you can buy the clipboard pieces, but there's a store local in town here. I went ahead and just bought a cheap clipboard and drilled out the rivets that come with it. So I just plan on using that one just as a test piece. So if this works out, I've got a lot of pallet wood that I'd probably like to make little trinket stuff like this and just mess around. So I'll get this planed down, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I ended up scrapping that idea with the pallet wood. It started to bow on me pretty good. I think where I went wrong was I made the pieces too wide. It was going pretty good, but it got pretty brittle. it started to bow, and the pieces were pretty wide. So I decided to scrap that idea and throw that off. And I had a piece of cherry, and I had a piece of mahogany that I cut down into strips. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna glue those together and give it another try. So hopefully this time it turns out. If not, I don't mind just doing some things and trying things out and seeing how it goes. So I'm hoping with the combination of being hardwood and smaller strips, it'll definitely be a bunch better manageable, I guess, as far as any bowing or anything like that. So plus I wasn't even sure what that wood was from the palette. I just liked the color of it and I thought it would look pretty. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and glue this up and see how this turns out. Okay, so I went ahead and planed it down. You can see I got a piece of mahogany right here, and the rest of it is cherry. This is a little bit lighter of the cherry, but it actually turned out pretty well so far. You can start to see I got a little bit of gap here in between the pieces, but this is just for an experiment only, and I wanted to see if it was something I can do. Obviously it's pretty flexible. I don't know how durable it'll be down the road, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and profile the corners just to make them a little bit round, and I'm going to sand it, and I'll go ahead and attach the clip to it. And as far as finish goes, I'm not quite sure. I might even just put like a teak oil on it. I'm really not looking to seal anything. It's not like it's going to get wet or anything. So the dimensions for this, I went ahead and I did a 10-inch by 13-inch. I checked online, and obviously everything's kind of a different size, so I went ahead and just kind of made up my own size, and a sheet of paper will fit on here just perfect. So hopefully I can get this sanded and get the corners rounded off, and hopefully not damage anything in the process. So let's see how it turns out. Okay, so I went ahead and planed it down. You can see I got a piece of mahogany right here, and the rest of it is cherry. This is a little bit lighter of the cherry, but it actually turned out pretty well so far. You can start to see I got a little bit of gap here in between the pieces, but this is just for an experiment only, and I wanted to see if it was something I can do. Obviously it's pretty flexible. I don't know how durable it'll be down the road, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and profile the corners just to make them a little bit round, and I'm going to sand it, and I'll go ahead and attach the clip to it. And as far as finish goes, I'm not quite sure. I might even just put like a teak oil on it. I'm really not looking to seal anything. It's not like it's going to get wet or anything. So the dimensions for this, I went ahead and I did a 10-inch by 13-inch. I checked online, and obviously everything's kind of a different size, so I went ahead and just kind of made up my own size, and a sheet of paper will fit on here just perfect. So hopefully I can get this sanded and get the corners rounded off, and hopefully not damage anything in the process. So let's see how it turns out. All right, so I've completed it. Ta-da! Nothing fancy. Turned out pretty good, actually. Again, like I said, there's some flaws in it, but it's going to serve its purpose just fine. I would say some lessons that I learned on doing this one is if I ever did it again, I would do it thicker. I guess I wouldn't mind going even as thick as 1/4 inch, but I wanted to see how thin I could get it. This is about an 1/8 inch, but it's definitely more fragile. But I think it's going to turn out just fine. So if anybody has any other ideas, I would love to see their ideas if they wanted to give it a try. Let me know if there's something that you've seen that maybe I could have done different. But I think for the most part, I'm happy with it. And the next time I do it, like I said, is I'll do a few things different. This is something that maybe I'll decide to make a batch of and try to sell. So it's a little different, unique thing other than a cutting board or coasters or something. So, but yeah, if you guys continue to like what you see, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'm hoping, again, like I said before, is to make some videos here soon when the weather starts turning around a little bit, and get some work tables going, and for the lathe and for the planer, and hopefully we can start getting some walls up soon. So again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.